Today I want to talk about a very important message, a very important thing that a lot of parents try to implement in their parenting techniques and tactics, but they don't necessarily get it right every time. And you're not going to, and that's cool, because I don't get everything right every time, and you shouldn't expect anybody to do that, right? But what we're going to talk about is parenting role model. How to be a role model to your children, to your babies, to your preteens, to your teens. Role model in general is very important. We look for role models, and our kids look at us as role models to them. We're just merely an example of our children, or our children is an example of us, and so on. We're an example of our parents, and our kids are an example of us. So we have to be very careful in today's society what we say, how we walk, how we talk, how we eat, the way we drive. Just any little thing is so crucial to the kids' minds these days, especially little kids. If a lot of people watching this video probably have little babies, little infants, or 4 or 5 years old. I know my business partner, man, he's got a 3-year-old, and my little nephew. I love this kid, but you really have to watch what you say in front of him, because he's like, picks it up like that. I said damn the other day, and I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, damn. He says it on the couch. I'm like, no, don't say that, Lucci. No, bad, and he was just creeping me. I was like, oh shoot, I messed up. And I felt bad, because now I've got this little 3-year-old saying a curse word, So you just have to really be example, watch what you're saying. Be a fit example to your children. Now, how do we do this? How do you say, Matt, how am I supposed to be the exact role model when, I may slip up and say something? No problem. Rule number 1. Say you're driving down the interstate, some guy just cuts you off, and you're like, you son of a bitch, asshole, I can't stand you, blah, 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 blah. You just want to call him all kinds of names. You got your 2-year-old in the car seat behind you, right? Well, first of all, you can't really start cussing and yelling, because your 2-year-old may not be able to talk that well, but they're going to hear it. They're going to see your reaction. They're going to see your mannerisms, your attitude, and it's all going to play back in their minds for when they get older. So when they start acting out, crying, throwing temper tantrums, bad behavior, it's all going to be a reflection on that day of how you acted. And you just don't act just once. Somebody cuts you off, you're not just like, it's cool. It happened once. I'm not going to let it happen again. No, it ain't like that. Even if you're not an angry person, you're still going to get angry when somebody cuts you off. It's human nature. It's human nature to be this way, and it's okay. Nobody's saying it's not okay. But rule number 1 is you cannot do this. You have to think about the role model example that you're giving that 2-year-old in the back seat before you allow your anger to arise in front of you. Before you allow some guy to rip the evil out of you, and your child will be like, oh, man, I didn't know my mom or my dad was like that. It must be okay to be like that. They did it. They obviously know more than I do, so it must be okay. You see the transition in their mind that's playing back to them. Same thing, it would happen to you. You saw somebody do something. You're like, oh, let me follow the leader. They must be doing it, so I must be right. It's okay. That's how people get in trouble. That's how things start to happen. That's how the domino effect really gets messed up in your kid's life, because they start to follow a trend because they don't know any different, because at a certain age it connected and clinched onto them, and they're like, that must be alright. So parents, how do you stop being over eager, angry? How do you stop yelling and acting out so your child can stop seeing this? All great things, right? All things that you really want to figure out. I'm going to tell you real quick after I take this drink of water. Hold on. Okay. Now, to be the perfect role model, there's no such thing. You can't be the perfect role model. If anybody tells you can, if any psycho-babbled guy tells you that you can be the perfect role model to your child, they're lying. Don't listen to them. All you have to do is better yourself a little bit at a time. All you have to do is try to step up 1 micro step a day, and you'll start to see a change. Same thing with your kids' behavior. Same thing when they learn in school. They don't learn everything at once. They have to take baby steps. They have to move, and work with themselves. And that's the only way that you guys are going to learn. It's the only way that you're going to get your behavior in the right path, and then your kid is over here or you're out here. You're going to start to line up with each other. And you guys are going to start to be a perfect straight line together. And your child will start listening, your child will start behaving better, your child will start doing better in school. I guarantee you, parents, when your behavior gets intact and you start realizing and asking yourself, what am I not doing so that my child is seeing what I'm doing? Then it'll work. You need to ask yourselves, it's not what am I doing wrong, it's what am I not doing. It's never what you are doing, it's what you're not doing. Because when it's out of sight, out of mind, nobody thinks about it. So parents, like I said, being a parenting role model, not the easiest thing in the world, but definitely far from the hardest thing in the world. All you got to do is just discipline yourself a little bit. So, ask yourselves this question. Are you willing to let me help you? Are you willing to let a kid that came from that type of behavior, that saw his parents from one side to the next, never in the straight line system, never followed his parents, never listened to his parents because I was such an out of control young little preteen and teenager, going just beyond the everyday rules of life and telling my parents whatever and screw you and you're out of your mind. If you want that advice from me that I have, and I can guarantee you I have a ton of it, then I need you to go to therworldofmatt.com. You'll see a little box. Put your name and email in there, and as soon as you do that, you'll get a free special gift that I have set up to give you as soon as you go over. So go to the blog, therworldofmatt.com. Check out the blog post. As soon as you do that, you'll go ahead and receive my free gift. Parents and role model, folks. You just got to do it. You don't have much of a choice. If you want your kids to follow you, you want your kids to listen, you got to set the right example. And a lot of parents out there are not setting the right example. So come on over. Let's get this straightened out. Let's get in a straight line. And let's have a better life and less stress, huh? Parents, God bless.